12-team college football playoff, recruiting, coaching, there's no question about it. EA means business. Let's get into it. EA just dropped their Dynasty Deep Dive trailer, and man, it was a big one. The trailers that we've gotten up to this point have been anywhere from about 1 minute to 2 minutes long. This trailer was over 6 minutes long. I think at this point we can all agree that EA is over-delivering on the content that we've gotten thus far. As always with these videos, I like to talk about the things that interest me and the things that I'm looking forward to. Let's go ahead and get started with coaching. So with coaching, this isn't going to be a one-size-fits-all. It's also not going to be something in which your coach is going to be perfect at everything. It's broken down into 3 areas. So as a coach, you can either be a motivator, you can be a recruiter, or you can be a tactician. So with tactician, it's basically you're phenomenal with X's and O's. You have to be a little bit careful though, because if you decide to be a motivating coach and just focus all of your efforts on motivating, you're going to fall a bit behind with recruiting and tactician. Motivator, recruiter, and tactician, they all work together. Also, if you don't want to start off as a head coach and maybe you feel like you'd be better suited as an offensive coordinator or a defensive coordinator and working your way up the ladder that way, that opportunity is available to you as well. Whether you're not happy with your offensive coordinator or you're not happy with your defensive coordinator and say you decide to fire one or fire the other, all is not lost because we have the coaching carousel. You can see coaches that are potentially on the hot seat. You can also see offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators that might be up for grabs. So let's say that they're doing really well with a smaller program. You can see whether or not interest has spiked because of how well that they're doing. And it could be a possibility that that coach or that coordinator, it could very well be a possibility where that coordinator might be a fit for your program. Recruiting is so important in Dynasty. Recruiting is really the nuts and bolts of what makes your team, and really what makes Dynasty mode what it is. What you say and do for that player is going to be highly contingent upon whether or not, 1, you're actually able to get them to commit and sign, and 2, whether or not you're actually able to get them to stay. A lot of different factors go into it. Whether or not they want to be the guy, whether or not they want to be the hometown hero. There's 5 different recruiting actions. You can offer them a scholarship, you can search their social media, you can DM that player, you can contact family and friends, you can send someone over to the house. Like, hey, you can really just send everything to the kid to say, hey, we really want you here. We feel like you're going to make a very big impact in our program. And if you want to make it to the next step and go to the league, this program is going to enable you to do that. There's also 2 different types of pitching styles. So with the soft sell, it awards a moderate amount of influence when choosing the correct pitch. It also limits the downside risk and penalty of pitching the prospect on something that they don't even care about. This is best when you have some idea of what the recruit is motivated by. So if you're not entirely sure on what they're motivated by, you can do sort of a soft sell behind that. Hard pitch, you know everything they want, you know everything that they care about, and you're like, yo, we really want you here. This provides the most influence when choosing the correct pitch, but it also comes with a large penalty if you pitch the wrong thing. It's best to hard sell the recruit when you know their ideal pitch, or if you're desperate and just hoping for the best. So it could be a situation where you don't really care about what they want, or you don't really have a lot of intel on what the player wants. You're just like, yo, I want you here. I don't care what it takes. I want you here, and you're willing to say whatever to try to get them on your team. It's sort of a risk reward when you decide to sell hard. Keep in mind when you're bringing recruits to campus. If you're bringing in a quarterback and a left tackle, that tells that left tackle, hey, this is potentially a quarterback that I'm going to be protecting. And that also tells the quarterback, hey, this is someone that's going to help me. If you bring in 2 quarterbacks, there's a very good possibility you're not going to get either recruits because you're setting the tone that those 2 quarterbacks are competing for spots. So it's very important the time frame in which you bring recruits to the campus, to the football game, and trying to sell them on joining the team. We have no idea what the college football playoff system even looks like, but thanks to College Football 25, we can experience it firsthand for ourselves. I think one of the things that's going to be cool about the 12-team college football playoff system is that teams that were typically on the bubble of even making the playoffs Now we're actually going to see them in there. Now they'll actually have a shot to work their way up and say, hey, we belong here. We've always belonged here. We're on our way to a national championship and we're going to win it. That's it. I mean, it's nice and all that they show the University of Michigan winning the national championship, but I intend to have the University of Cincinnati Bearcats hosting that championship trophy. There was a lot of information in today's Dynasty trailer, but there's even more information in the Dynasty blog. So make sure that you guys and gals check out the blog. I'm sure I'll have it somewhere in the description. Make sure you check out the blog to see all of the intricate details that's going to be in Dynasty. That's it for this one. I will see you guys and gals in the next one.